Hey everyone, so I'm making a video today because I haven't in a while. First you'll see the ingredients I needed, and there's the frosting I'm going to use, and now you'll see me dancing around like a goofball because I'm always dancing. I'm cutting out the parchment paper to go inside the pan to go underneath the cake because I've made this cake several times. It always turns out good, but a lot of times it does stick. Even with using flour and just plain cooking spray, but the parchment paper really helps. So I just traced my pans and then I cut it out and put it at the bottom of the pan and then spray it again, as you'll see later in this video. So this cake is super good. I'm making it for Easter because my family's coming over tomorrow. We're going to celebrate Easter together. There's me dancing like a goofball again. My kids are definitely used to my shenanigans. So anyways, I've made this cake lots of times before. Super, super yummy. This time it did turn out a little flat. The batter was a little bit thicker and I followed the recipe, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but once smothered with chocolate frosting, it's going to taste really good. And I did find it organic, dairy-free frosting at Walmart. I bought it at Meijer before, but I found it at Walmart for a little bit cheaper. So I went there because I also was looking for dye-free egg coloring, which I could not find, unfortunately. And then I also picked up this King Arthur flour, which I typically buy. Try to get the organic one, but for some reason they didn't have the big organic all-purpose unbleached flour, but I know this is a good brand, so we just stuck with it. So here I'm measuring out all the dry ingredients to put together in the cake. I follow a recipe online for a yellow dairy-free cake. I don't remember the website, but I will share it in the comments. So mixing all the dry ingredients together, flour, baking powder, as you can see, and salt. So I never measure out my salt, but maybe that was an issue, maybe why it didn't rise as much. I'm not sure. Who knows? Anyways, I bought these new salt and pepper shakers that are automatic, and they work really well, and I never measure my salt out. And right now I have the pink Himalayan salt in there, and I love it. It's so much better for us. If I go out to eat or go anywhere, even at the cafeteria where I eat lunch every day, all they have is regular old nasty table salt. Table salt is so bad for you. There's no health benefits. So don't use it. Just kidding. If you want to, do you. Sea salt or pink Himalayan salt is great. So I'm using coconut oil in this recipe. The recipe does call for a dairy-free butter, which I have used before. And when I first made this cake, I was nursing Lucas, so several years ago. He's 5.5 now. I was nursing Lucas and we didn't do dairy, so I bought an off brand of butter that was dairy free. It was a vegan butter, and we used that. And the first time I made it, we just kind of fell in love with it. And I've made it with different types of frosting before. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. The cake itself always turns out good, and it's always better the next day. Like the next day, super duper duper yummy. One time I made it for a family get together when some of my family came over, and I just kind of threw a bunch of stuff together. I put like some cocoa, some coconut oil, vanilla, almond milk. I don't even know what it was, but it was so good. And then I actually took some espresso powder and added that in, and it was so good. It was the best frosting I've ever made, and everybody loved it. Like seriously, it was gone in 2 days. It was so good, this cake. I tried to make it again and could not master it. So one time was a charm, I suppose. I ran out of farm eggs, unfortunately, so I had one farm egg to use, as you can see, one green one there, and then I did have to use store-bought, and then we did buy store-bought eggs today for the kids to color as well. It is what it is. So here's me cracking the eggs, throwing those in. I'm putting all the wet ingredients in now. The sugar I put in is just regular organic cane sugar, and then I mix it with coconut sugar as well. Just to add a kick in there. So I put a cup of coconut oil. I put 1 cup of sugar. It does call for more sugar. Oh, here we go. Boiling eggs. Setting the temperature to 325 to bake. Preheating the oven. Alrighty, so where was I at? So I used a cup of sugar. I think it does call for more. I can't remember how much, but yeah, just use a cup of sugar. I don't even know if this is recording. Hopefully it's working. Okay, yes, so it was working. I haven't used this app in forever, so I couldn't remember if I was using it right. And I really didn't want to do this voiceover again. Okay, Watkins Pure Vanilla. My husband bought me this at Meijer a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. I don't know. But Watkins we use because they use no artificial colors. So we actually have Watkins sprinkles in the cupboard as well. I wanted to put sprinkles in this recipe. I wanted it to be kind of like a funfetti cake, especially since it's Easter tomorrow and colorful and spring. And my 13-year-old said no sprinkles. She didn't want any sprinkles and she loves this cake. So I said, okay, I won't put sprinkles in. So the trick with doing this cake, and I always follow this recipe, is once you get all the wet ingredients besides the milk put in, you will slowly incorporate the dry ingredients little bits at a time, like a third of it and then like a third of the milk. And I'm using True Goodness almond milk from Meijer, which I just kind of discovered. I usually use almond milk from Aldi, but they didn't have the best ingredients. But I do buy the organic Aldi, goodness, I cannot talk. Organic almond milk from Aldi, and that's sufficient. But my son does not like it, so I will sometimes get the True Goodness milk from Meijer as well. So that's what I'm using today. And then we also have the regular Aldi organic milk in the fridge because that's what Lucas likes. And there goes the rest of the milk. So it was a cup of almond milk. Like I said, the batter was a little thicker than normal this time, which was a little weird because I did follow the recipe. It's usually a little bit thinner, like a cake batter, but it still turned out good. And I can't wait to eat it tomorrow with a yummy chocolate frosting on top. So here's just finishing everything up, getting it nice and incorporated, kind of cleaning up my mess. And bringing my pans over. For some reason, that darn parchment paper does not want to stay down. So here's me spraying it, as I said earlier. And this worked beautifully. They came out so nice, like no sticking at all. And they were nice and flat on the bottom, so it worked out really good. It did rise, of course, a little bit. Not as much as normal, but I just kind of trimmed the top up, and it's not a pretty cake by any means, but it tastes really good. I also suggested maybe putting some dye-free sprinkles on top of the cake, on top of the chocolate frosting. And again, my 13-year-old was like, no way, no sprinkles. So no sprinkles. All right, cleaning up my mess, washing my hands, wash. This is probably like the 4th time in this video I think I've washed my hands just because I'm feeding this cake to other people and I don't want them getting my germs. Not sick or anything, but unplugging the mixer. Always. Before I take my paddle off, I got a little coconut oil on the counter and I rubbed my hand in it while I was moving my mixer, so it was kind of silly. Anyways, I always unplug my mixer before I take the paddle off because who knows, what if Lucas comes by and like swats it or something and I don't want to lose a finger. And definitely don't want him to see me lose a finger. So here we go, trying the batter. Yum, good, sweet, not too sweet. Again, only used a cup of sugar and it calls for, I think, 2 cups, honestly. Like I said, I will post the recipe below. But here we go. I'm going to put this in the pan. I did put a little bit more in the first one than the second one. I tried to make it even, but it was, with it being kind of thick, it was kind of tough. See, usually I can pour it in pretty good, so I don't know exactly what I did. But, again, I will make this cake again, and it's still going to taste good. Right, so tomorrow for Easter, my parents are coming over. We're going to have a spiral ham, mashed potatoes, rolls. I usually make canned corn casserole, but I'm not going to make it tomorrow just because I don't feel like it. We had it with dinner a couple days ago, so just not feeling it this year. Let's see, what else are we going to have? Corn, and I don't even know. I don't know. I'll figure out something tomorrow and see how it goes, but it'll be good, of course. And then back to school for the kiddos on Monday after spring break. So we unfortunately did not do anything for spring break. We took like a mall trip and just hung out. We went shopping one day. We were going to go to the movies and decided not to. We weren't really feeling it. And then just kind of hung out at home. I worked most of the time. Had a couple days off. But next year I told my husband I vow we are taking our kids somewhere for spring break. We haven't done anything for spring break. in several years. Here we go. Go in the pan, top rack. 325, and it said 50 minutes. I put it in for 55, and actually it took much less time than that. So here are some flowers I bought at Aldi today. They were tulips, and I thought they were beautiful, and I have this really pretty vase I put them in, and they were glorious. I love them. Here's the cake, all done, looks good. And then I also decided to jump on the sourdough journey. So here we go. Day 1 starter. We'll see how it goes. Here's the cake. Looking good. Finishing it up. There's some cake scraps the kiddos snacked on. And this frosting I found at Walmart. It was really good. And after I smothered it on the cake, we tried it a little bit. When it was kind of melty, it was super yummy. There it is. Finished project. Thanks, everyone. Happy Easter.